Google is worth more than $4 trillion today. In 1998, Google's founders came to Yahoo and offered to sell their search engine. Yahoo said no. Facebook is worth more than $2 trillion today. In 2006, Yahoo offered $1 billion to buy it. A 22-year-old named Mark Zuckerberg said no in a 10-minute meeting. Then in 2008, Microsoft offered Yahoo $44 billion, 62% above the stock price, the biggest acquisition offer in tech history at the time. Yahoo said no to that too. 9 years later, Yahoo sold its core business for $4.5 billion, about 1/10 of what Microsoft had offered. This is not a story about bad luck or stupid decisions. Every choice that was made here seemed reasonable at the time it was made. That is what makes it so hard to look at. January 1994, Stanford University. Two PhD students named Jerry Yang and David Philo were supposed to be finishing their dissertations. Instead, they built a list of websites they liked, organized by category. They put it on the university server and called it Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. Other students found it, then professors, then people outside Stanford. Traffic grew. They renamed it Yahoo. The name was a joke. They thought of themselves as unsophisticated outsiders, Yahoos, compared to the serious academics around them. In April 1996, Yahoo went public. The offer price was $13 a share. By the close of the first trading day, it was at $33, a 154% gain, one of the biggest IPO jumps in NASDAQ history at the time. The company had fewer than 50 employees. Within 2 years of that IPO, the stock had risen 600%. By the late 90s, Yahoo was the internet. You opened a browser, you saw Yahoo. Your email was Yahoo Mail. Your news was Yahoo News. Your sports scores came from Yahoo Sports. Yahoo's homepage was the first thing millions of people saw every morning. On January 3, 2000, Yahoo's stock closed at $118.75 per share. The market cap was over $100 billion. Yahoo was the most visited website on Earth. Jerry Yang was 31 years old. In 1998, two Stanford PhD students were trying to find a home for their search engine. Their names were Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They had built something called Google. It worked differently from everything else. Instead of just matching keywords, it ranked pages by how many other pages linked to them. The more links a page had, the more useful it was assumed to be. They approached Yahoo about it. Yahoo could license the technology or buy the company outright. Yahoo said no. The reason that came out later, Yahoo's executives did not want search results that were too good. If users found what they were looking for too quickly, they would leave Yahoo and not come back. Yahoo wanted people to stay on the site, to browse, click ads, check their email, come back tomorrow. Better search was a threat to that plan. Page and Brin kept building. Google launched publicly later that year. It grew fast. Within 4 years, it had become the dominant search engine on the internet. The thing Yahoo feared, users leaving quickly and coming back because the search was so good, turned out to be a better business than anything Yahoo ever built. In 2001, after the dot-com crash, Yahoo's stock fell to $8.11 a share, down from $118. Yahoo survived the crash. But 100 miles south, in Silicon Valley, Google was growing. In 2002, Yahoo tried to buy Google. CEO Terry Semel went to Google and made an offer. Yahoo would pay $3 billion for the whole company. Google's founders said no. Their price was $5 billion. Yahoo walked away from the $2 billion gap. In hindsight, the thing Yahoo walked away from was worth over $2 trillion. 4 years later, Yahoo had another chance to buy the next big thing. In the summer of 2006, a social network called Facebook was growing fast. It was 2 years old. It had about 8 million users, mostly college students. Revenue was around $30 million a year, and the company was not yet profitable. Yahoo offered $1 billion to acquire it. Mark Zuckerberg was 22 years old. He called a board meeting. People who were in that room later said the meeting lasted about 10 minutes. Zuckerberg's answer, the company was not for sale. But Yahoo had weak earnings that quarter. They lowered the offer to $850 million. Facebook's board said no again. Documents that came out later showed Yahoo had been ready to go as high as $1,600,000,000. The lowered bid had killed the deal. Yahoo had now passed on Google twice and Facebook once. The reason was always the same belief underneath. Yahoo saw itself as a destination, a place people came to and stayed. Any company that sent users somewhere else was a risk. But the internet was not a destination. It was a road, and Yahoo could not see that. By 2007, Yahoo felt like it might have been right all along. Revenue reached nearly $7 billion for the year. The company was profitable. Jerry Yang had returned as CEO. The Yahoo brand was everywhere. Hundreds of millions of people still visited Yahoo every day. Google had not killed Yahoo. Facebook had not killed Yahoo. The stock was around $30. Analysts were writing about Yahoo's resilience. Inside the company, the mood was, we survived the dot-com crash, we passed on overpriced deals, and we are still standing. But look at the numbers underneath that confidence. Google's revenue in 2007 was $16 billion, more than twice Yahoo's. Facebook had grown to more than 50 million users and was adding people by the week. The ground was disappearing under Yahoo's feet. From the outside, it looked fine. From the inside, it felt fine. That is the false summit. You reach the top of one ridge, you think you have made it, and you stop looking at what is ahead. In February 2008, what was ahead arrived. On February 1, 2008, Microsoft sent Yahoo a letter. The offer, $44,600,000,000, $31 a share, a 62% premium over Yahoo's stock price at the time. The biggest acquisition offer ever made for an internet company. Microsoft was scared of Google. It wanted Yahoo's search business, Yahoo's advertising platform, Yahoo's audience. Together, they believed they could compete. Yahoo's board had 10 days to respond. Jerry Yang believed Yahoo was worth more. His number, shared privately with investors and advisors, was around $40 a share. That would value Yahoo at roughly $56 billion. On February 11, 2008, Yahoo's board voted unanimously to reject Microsoft's offer. The statement they released said the offer substantially undervalued Yahoo, its global brand, its audience, its growth prospects. Microsoft did not accept that. They threatened a hostile takeover, going directly to Yahoo's shareholders over the board's heads. Negotiations continued through the spring. Counteroffers were discussed. Back-channel talks happened. In May 2008, Microsoft walked away. Yahoo's stock fell immediately after. By the end of 2008, Yahoo's market cap was below $17 billion. Jerry Yang resigned as CEO in November 2008, 11 months after he turned down $44 billion. He had built Yahoo from a hobby project in a student apartment. He had watched it become the most visited website on Earth. He had rejected Google when it was worth $1 million. He had rejected Facebook when it was worth $1 billion. He had rejected Microsoft when it was worth $44 billion. The board that had voted unanimously to reject Microsoft's offer voted to accept Yang's resignation. In the years that followed, Yahoo went through 5 CEOs. In July 2012, Yahoo hired Marissa Mayer. She was 37 years old. She had been one of Google's earliest employees and one of its most senior product executives. She was what Yahoo's board wanted, someone who had been on the inside of the company that beat them. Yahoo's stock jumped the day she was announced. Headlines described her as a savior. Mayer had ambitious plans. She wanted Yahoo to become a media and technology company. She bought dozens of small startups. She hired journalists and editors. She invested in design. Her biggest acquisition came in May 2013. Yahoo bought Tumblr, a blogging and social media platform popular with a younger audience, for $1.1 billion. Mayer announced the deal herself on her Tumblr blog. She promised Yahoo would not, in her exact words, screw it up. 4 years later, Verizon wrote Tumblr down to essentially nothing. In 2019, Tumblr sold for a reported $3 million. From $1.1 billion to $3 million, a loss of more than 99%. While Mayer was trying to rebuild the company, something else was happening. In 2013, Hackers broke into Yahoo's systems and stole data from 3 billion user accounts. Every account Yahoo had ever created, the largest data breach in history. Yahoo did not immediately disclose it. A second breach was discovered, 500 million accounts from 2014. When Yahoo disclosed that breach in 2016, it was in the middle of finalizing its sale to Verizon. Months later came the disclosure of the 2013 breach, which was larger still. Verizon took $350 million off the purchase price. The company that turned down $44 billion from Microsoft lost $350 million because it delayed disclosing a security breach. Verizon paid $4.48 billion for Yahoo's core internet business. The email, the news, the sports, the portal. Everything that had once been worth over $100 billion. Marissa Mayer resigned the day the deal closed, June 13, 2017. Her severance was $23 million. Here is the part that does not fit the simple story. In 2005, while Yahoo was still one of the most powerful companies on the internet, it paid roughly $1 billion for a stake in a Chinese e-commerce company called Alibaba. Most Americans had never heard of it. When Verizon bought Yahoo's core internet business in 2017, the Alibaba stake was not included. It stayed in a separate holding company, which was eventually called Altaba. That Alibaba stake was later worth tens of billions of dollars, far more than everything Verizon paid for the core business. Yahoo's greatest investment was a company it almost stumbled into. Not search, not social, not media. A Chinese e-commerce platform that most of its executives could not have found on a map. It is tempting to call Yahoo's leaders foolish, but that misses the point. Larry Page and Sergey Brin came to Yahoo in 1998 with $1 million, and Yahoo said no. That was a reasonable decision inside a specific belief about what users wanted. Yahoo walked away from Google for $5 billion in 2002. Reasonable if you believed $3 billion was already too much. Yahoo rejected Microsoft's $44 billion offer in 2008. Reasonable if you believed Yahoo was worth $60. Every decision followed logically from the one before it. The belief never changed. The internet is not a destination. People do not stay. They search, they share, they move. The companies that understood that, Google, Facebook, YouTube, became the most valuable in history. Yahoo understood the opposite. It understood it very deeply, very consistently, for a very long time, and then it was gone